magic like beating yum yum yum,
says Wolfbane as he eats his chicken leg. Cringe dialogue is cringe. I'm not R.L. Stein, but I'm someone better. Welcome, I'm Grim, and this is the continuation to the collection I have for 2021. Well, we're still in the limbo period of the game, and since this is the third anniversary, I might as well do this. I know this was been requested, but yeah, whatever. The last 6 videos, I've been basically just talking a little bit about each character in depth with the level system, and now we're finally at my favorite part. The special ones. Now, each one to probably go over here. So these are the special books. So what is special about these books? Namely, these books are based off of events. Events were limited time quests and premiere items that were only available for a certain period. And then after that, they were done. Part of that included certain books and materials. And what's fun about that is the fact that each one introduced a new book and a new story. And what they've decided to do last year in July is finally added the special book section in there. So now, we people can play these games. So I'm going to now talk about each of these special books as they introduced into the game. And then others from there. I've kind of mentioned some of them previously with some minor ones. So if I don't mention any events, just note that I already kind of mentioned them somewhat. Like, for example, the Valentine Night Fever. I don't really technically talk about that necessarily. And so much and so forth. So let's go ahead and talk about their first ever update back in Easter of 2018. When the game was still updated, they did this beta test one, and then they re-released it for the summer once it got landed in May. And then they had a proper Easter event in 2019, which I recorded. And of course, that's talking about Bad Hair Day. Bad Hair Day is an interesting one with magic and bunnies and all that chaos, oh my. And of course, we can't have any magic show without Amaz-O. This is the Amaz-O, or Jack, or the Amazing Jack, I should say, who's pretending to be Amaz-O. He is a very interesting character. I do like his design, and he's basically, from what I understand, he's kind of based off of just himself, I guess. I don't really see any character he might be based off from. He kind of looks familiar, but I can't put my tip on it. He's not based off anything from the story or whatnot. I kind of briefly talked about this, but it's interesting how in the original book, the person he played as, it's bizarre because it's a bunch of stuff here. But anyways, all you need to know is Amaz-O in this book, in this story. Well, the guy who's pretending to be Amaz-O, Amazing Jack, he actually is a failure of a mediocre amateur magician that doesn't do anything good. No one likes him. Everyone booed at him and all that stuff. And unfortunately, that caused some minor concerns to the point where he kind of became desperate. He's like, oh man, I suck at this. I wish I was as great as these famous magicians, one of them being Amaz-O, who actually had their display right here. And you see that middle section. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. This section right here. Namely this one right there. This. That is Amaz-O's costume. Namely the cape. So what happened is that Amazing Jack put on the cape and then he got possessed by the real Amaz-O. That and, a bunch of this stuff here. So you could say that the cape that he's wearing now is the one in question. Except for the fact that there is no weird kind of gem over there, but I digress. Now, I could spawn these guys right here, right now, which I might as well do so, but we're going to have them be spawned anyways again. So there's not going to be anything new-ish here, besides maybe different color bunnies, but I'm sure you could find the same ones over there. And, yeah, so anyways, that happened. So then next year came around, so instead of a magic event or magic carnival, it was an Easter carnival. And the mayor is just like, man, that kind of sucks. That was the bad, that was worst. I don't know what happened. And then all of a sudden, this weird thing came around. claiming that it is actually the real Amaz-O. This weird mannequin dummy holding a rabbit, saying that, oh, Mrs. Johnson, I am the real Amaz-O, and I want to basically, I want to do the magic for you. And she's like, oh, no, I don't have any money. And she's like, no, 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 you don't get it. I want to do it for free because I want to get my reputation back, because the clown known as Amazing Jack pretended to be him and caused his reputation to go down in the toilet. So he basically used Jack as his puppet to be the Amaz-O of question. And I love the fact that this is a thing, because this is a nod to in the books as well as in the show. Because in the show, the rabbit didn't use any magic tricks, except for in the actual book, it was a mannequin. The Amaz-O thing was there, and the rabbit was actually the puppeteer, as sorts as we know. And then from there, it kind of followed true with the story as it does in the book. The only exception is that Dustin got away from Amaz-O, weird rabbit form. And as I mentioned before, he was cursed by McGlaney, who I've mentioned previously, last episode or so. So we got that going on. And during that update, he was introduced with a scene, and this became our first ever scene from an event that was permanent, which was this one, the Mad Hare House. And with it, I'm going to spawn all these characters out and about, and it's basically going to be the same thing here with the rabbits, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to also spawn the rabbits here. No, not the odds and end, please. Can I just spawn the rabbits? Yeah, so... yes, so you got the rabbits here. They're all the same colors, except some are like different colors of gray. And I'm sure the other ones walking around is doing the same thing. So those are the horror hares. There's Amaz-O, or Jack, basically just hitting people with his stick. Whereas these bunnies are doing weird stuff. It's weird. I don't know what the weird monster rabbits are for, but I know that I kind of keep on saying this, and God forbid, that the design for the rabbits really do remind me of, I'm trying to think of what that guy's name is. It's, again, I can't for the life of me. I know a lot of people said, oh, I know what it is. It's this. It's like, it starts with DD, and I'm just like, yes, I know, but I can't for the life of me be bothered, okay? But it's this weird man in a costume that's like in a bunny costume, but it's a skull, and it just, the rabbits kind of have that look to them. And then this is the dummy. This is how I should say I don't know, it. This is how it does its scares. And surprisingly, Amaz-O himself isn't around. And I'm not sure why. But it's what it is. Let's just get that going on there and be done with it. Yeah, okay, there we go. So let's go with this and have her do the hat trick. And the reason why I want to do the hat trick is because this is the moment that we actually got to see Amaz-O. There he is. So that little bunny rabbit that's popping in and out, that is Amaz-O. That is truly who Amaz-O is. Well, this dummy is just the puppet that he's using as a persona, or of a avatar of sorts, kind of like a shell, I guess, as pretending. So we got that going on here. If you're questioning why things seems like it's pausing and unpausing, namely it's because I'm trying to edit out the yawns, so you're welcome for that. I know it's not really a show of Goosebumps without me being sleepy and making you go to bed with nightmares, but I don't want to ruin that for you. So anyways, let's go over here. So this is Amaz-O. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do. I'm going to do the, I could make him do real magic, but he's not good for that. So instead I'm going to have him do a rabbit trick and make something cute pop in instead. And after that, I'll be able to talk about one of the more interesting characters, and by that I mean one of the weirder, worst characters that used to have a nickname. I called him that. He was considered to be the worst event when this game came out. Oh man, he's getting ahead of me. Sorry about that. Again, pauses and unpauses. So this is him doing this here with a bunny Yeah, he's gonna do magic. A little bunny pops out of the hat, and he's like, "Hey, look at that, her magic," you know. And it's cute, you know. I do like that. The little bunny rabbit is just adorable, hiding in the hat already. He is such a sucky magician, but again, I love it. I love the caravan too that he comes with. It's fun, you know. But anyways, I'm going to talk about a character with a unique building. And by unique, I mean not really unique because over here in this abomination, you'll notice that there's a normal house, but it's not normal. It's Fleshman's. So let's talk about the next book. Invasion of the Body Squeezers. This is Fleshman. As you can see, he has the FBI alien-looking bald man over here, basically being described as he does in the books. I'm kind of holding off information on what I found out with the Invasion of the Body Squeezers, just because I'm hoping the book comes back into the game as special, so that way I can be able to elaborate more on what is to be expected from this. But all you need to know is that there's some really interesting information as far as what I've discovered with the special artwork that I've been kind of showing off from a certain artist's group, but I digress. So yeah, Invasion of the Body Squeezer is an interesting story. They've designed the aliens weird. They made them more like crustaceans, and I guess it's because, you know, just because they squeeze. I don't know. Like the story about it, I kind of talked briefly on that episode, which by the way, the first ever video of Goosebumps I did, which was the Invasion of the Body Squeezers, that was like the most popular video I have thus far in this channel, and I don't like that because my god, does that video not deserve it? It's so bad, but I guess you could see the progression from how it was back then to where it is now. So that's something. But yeah, as I alluded to before, I used to call this guy Mr. Useless, and that was because the items he used to drop were all god awful. It wasn't until like Halloween of 2019 when they finally decided to address the issue and make him not suck. So we got that going on for ourselves. And yeah, like, you know, we got this over here, which is that's actually pretty nice. The drops there, it's like, damn, you could probably sell a lot of these, and then, you know, insects and whatnot. But yeah, that's Fleshman. He has an alien form, which I'll show off here, and his scene from the event when this came from actually is over here. Let's hope the game loads, please. Oh man, I love this. Give me a sec. Okay, now that it's loaded back in, that's better. Okay, good, 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 good. There it is. This meteorite, the alien meteorite. Just like in the books, they come from the meteors. But, anyways, yeah, these are the squeezers, these big, big lobster things. And this weird eyeball monster, well, that's Mr. Fleshman. And this is weird because Mr. Fleshman in like the whole story, Fleshman is the brain to the operations. He is like the queen to the bees. He is the brain of sorts. So he is the leader of the group. And like in the book, he pretended to be human and, you know, found out, oh, he's the alien. And then when the main character killed him, the aliens ended up just going like, oh, crap, what do we do now? So they kind of run away because they have no leader, so they can't really do anything because they're that dumb. They need someone to be bossed around by. But I digress. But yeah, they decided to make him into a weird octopus-like monster, and I'm gonna show that right now. This is them right there. I do love the weird the fake skin he's got going on down there, which is hilarious because, you know, it just kind of gives off the whole Judge Doom look. If you know what I'm talking about, when it's revealed that, oh my god, you're a toon, right? This is the same thing here. It's, oh my god, you're an alien. You know, I love these big crab monsters. Look at the slobber on these things while they kind of swipe around. You know, they kind of do this weird, like, look at these monsters. Look at them. Look at them. They're all doing the same thing because they got no brains. You know, they just do what they do. And these squeezers ended up getting chased down, and I guess near the end were forced into the river and lived there for God knows how long. Oh God, I don't want to have her. Okay, fine. I have to put you back on the task because I hate this. Okay, just do this. Okay. I hate clicking on things that's supposed to be not done, but you know what? What can you do? Where is Mr. Fleshman? I want to see him before I have to get everything going on here. So where is... Oh, great. There he is. Yeah, so this is how he attacks. It kind of does this weird thing here. Kind of, does the squid. And he has this one big eyeball, but I guess you got that point. I kind of showed this off a bunch of times, so yeah, we're done with that. So, one thing you'll notice is that he drops the eggs here. Now, what's interesting is that it used to be a big metal cube of sorts. I'm not sure the significance of that, but previously it was a cube, and they changed it to the egg. And the reason why that is, it's because of something that they added to the game later on, which I'll mention, which is a sequel, kinda, to the aliens, but I digress. It's what it is. But anyways, let's go ahead and see Mr. Fleshman right here. Oh, for a minute there, I thought this guy right here, the officer was carrying, I thought that was him on the floor, dead, or his skin at least. But anyways, he has a bunch of generic kind of Mr. FBI. Oh, I'm not being suspicious. Like read a newspaper, pick up insects with his tentacle hand, change a car tire, listen to conversations. But my favorite one is taking a bath. And the reason why is because this guy goes out, does this, in the middle of the streets, kind of exposing himself, right? Like, look at this. Like, I guess this is him taking a bath, which is weird, but okay. Yeah, whatever, buddy. Yeah, you do take your bath. But that's Mr. Fleshman here, and that's quite interesting. Though, I think now we're going to be talking about something a bit beefier and juicier, because that's going to have one of my favorite events they've updated to the game thus far. Ooh, let's do that right there. Hopefully I get what I want. But yeah, they've updated this game with a bunch of quests I like, and one of them happened to be the special Haunted Halloween, which I've mentioned this before in my playthrough, but I'll mention it here again. As you'll notice, they've recently changed this to be something else entirely, like they've remade it into their style. And there's a good reason for that. I'm not sure why I didn't go ahead and just kind of use the cover art like they did over here, and but there's I have a reason of why I think that is. As I mentioned before, I think it has something to do with the fact that it was something to do with copyright, I think with Scholastics and Sony and whatnot. It's weird because they might have the rights to the books and whatnot, and they may have given permission to do the Haunted Halloween thing, but I think it's up to a certain point, and then they're not allowed to. So it's interesting to see if these characters are still going to be available after the fact, or they're going to be like, oh, well, you can't use them anymore. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but yeah, for now these are somewhat interesting characters. I think they should be fine though, because they've rechanged the looks of them to be completely kind of different with the ones in the show, or in the movie I should say, but we don't know. But yeah, so this is Sam. Sam got introduced into the game, and he became a permanent resident because he was mainly featured for the Mr. Wood book of the talent show. Well, he doesn't have a book, but you get the picture. This is what it is here. And that's that. That's him in a nutshell. He's basically, as you can suspect, him just doing the normal, typical thing. Him and Sunny runs a... Sunny over here. Sunny runs a junk bro shop or things like that. If, basically, if you've seen the movie, then you pretty much know it follows the same thing here. They've just changed some small things here and there to fit into the game, but basically it's the same as the second movie. But Sunny actually gets more of a role in one of the last Halloween update we had because he helped Curly out. But it's interesting. We got to see some of these characters kind of go out, and I did talk more deep when it comes to the Haunted Halloween quest line, so I won't go too much in depth with that. But that's that there. This is Sarah. Sarah is the older sister to the kids, as far as I can see here. She has a bunch of stuff that's interesting and quite blah blah. You get the picture. She does all this stuff here, and oh, look at that. There's someone I want to talk about next, but I have some... Hold on for them. Where is she? Where is she going? Okay. I might as well show some of these animations off because why not? But yes, Sarah is the older sister to Sunny. And she's like the wanna be a writer when I grow up kind of deal. And thus she kind of just get inspiration to do the. I'm not sure if she was a writer in the book, or not in the book. What am I talking about? In the story, I know they actually wrote a book kind of based from this. I don't know. That gets complicated. Don't think about it. That's never going to get old. But anyways, this is what she's going to do here. She's going to type with R.L. Stein's typewriter, magical typewriter, because I'm sure that's what he gave her. But, anyways, well, for these two, let's just see what I can do here. If I can, see if there's something I can do that isn't anything to do with, yeah, you know what? I'm going to have you, play with a toy car, because why not? It's not appropriate, but whatever. No, not you, satyr. Come on, kid. Thank you. I don't want to click on these guys because they're done. Hand out flyers. I think, yeah, let's have them dance happy. Let's have him, yeah, I love the fact they updated this game with him having weird faces, because before I don't think he had these face expressions, but now he does. And I just love this because, the next Fortnite dance, everybody, I swear, unless they stole it already. But, yeah, I don't even know what this dance is supposed to be, but there it is. There's his dance. But, yeah, anyways, let's now talk about the seats. But first things first. Got lucky. Okay, cool. Anyways, where was I? All right, let's talk about Walter. Let's find him right here. He's right up there, Walter. Yeah, Walter. Walter was from the movie as well. He was one of the clerks for the Fred Pharmacy is what I think what it was called. And in the story, it's kind of presented as a quickie mart. Like, it has everything you want to know and more, I guess. So that's interesting. And Slappy ended up he was the first victim of Slappy by putting a mask over him and turning him into an ogre. It's weird because I was like, oh my god, is that the haunted mat? No, it's an ogre. And I think I joked about that too. I think in the second one, I guess. Again, a lot of it got really pretty much talked about a bronze. But this is Fred's Pharmacy. This is one of the scenes in question. It has the iconic witches that has been used in the in the video game recently, The Dead of Night. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, I got the witches. They do this, which is normal. We got Walter doing the oogie boogie. Because why not? And it's weird because Walter, I think, had a thing for Mrs. Dark at some point. And I think the other big note he actually came from was the fact that he actually wanted to do a camp. He wanted to run a camp back in 2019 and ended up doing one and had to deal with a problem. He ended up calling a camp Moon Lake, which we'll talk about that in a hot minute, because of that kind of stuff that's going on here. But yeah, this is just kind of, all this stuff. These are the iconic ones anyways from the films. These two here, very much. There's one more iconic one from the films, and then the rest of them that I'm going to show off are actually going to be based off of just weird randomness, as far as things go. Let's just go over here. They're done. Weird randomness because they don't really have a place, but, why not? I do love the fact that the price for this is this, Sabbath, witches thing. But yeah, that's about that there. So anyways, let's go back to Walter. I think that's about it for Walter. That's much as I can talk about for him. So let's go ahead and have him do the bouquet for Mrs. Dark, because I'm an idiot and I wanted to have him get me a pumpkin that I don't need to use anymore. But yeah, this is monster form, and he loves Mrs. Dark. And Yeah, and Lynn, I guess that's her name. It'll be interesting how that turns out because she's very busy as far as I know, but I digress. I won't talk much about that right now. But yeah, let's talk about the other iconic monster. These are the Gummy Bears. Just like the annoying song. The Gummy Bears come from this weird vending machine, and when you summon all these colorful monsters, you got a bunch of weird teddy bears, just like in the film. They're the version of the gnomes from the first movie. So, yeah, here's these monsters. This is them attacking, or one of them, anyways, and the little ones are on the way. I'm sure this is probably the models that they'll use for when it comes to the cuddle bears, if that ever does come into parade. Because again, they've been hinting these things for a while now, so it's like, I swear, if the game didn't stop, I'm sure it would have probably appeared like during February. I am 100% thinking that that was the case. But yeah, we got these things going on here. I digress. So we got these things walking around, scaring a bunch of people, having them do that. And not much about them. They're just kind of like, oh, they got possessed and haunted, and attack a bunch of stuff. So I'll move on from there. Now the rest of the stuff here, these are actually not based off monsters per se in the movie. I don't think these are actually based off of real life decorations that they decided to go ahead and turn into monsters, like the inflatable Madman, the inflatable gargoyle. Oh, I forgot. My bad. Give me a sec. So there's the bride and groom. So we got them two over here doing this stuff. But here's the other iconic one. My bad. I forgot. There was the giant spider. The giant balloon spider that was made by one of the neighbors. I'm trying to think of what the actor's name was, but yeah, he ended up making this giant display, and one of them is this balloon spiders. And I think I mentioned this before when I'm just like, why would like how would the balloon spiders hurt you? They're just made of balloons. But then someone pointed out that maybe it's wireframes in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. But I digress. So you got these monsters here doing the normal monster stuff and oogity boogities and all that and more. They were the first introduction to single scenes where you have to basically be like, in order for them to be done, they have to actually be clicked on, and then they'll be summoned. Like normally when you click on a done enemy, they end up disappearing, right? But these guys, you know, you have to, like, when you click on them, they'll actually just disappear. Like, they'll take you back to where they were originally spawned from, because you can't see them, right? So let's just have them go back here. And who else is left? Oh, we got the inflatable gargoyle. And the other ones are, oh, the bride and groom. So there's the bride. And there's the groom. Where's your bride? See if I can't find her running around here. Let's see if I can find her before I click. I could have sworn I saw them before. Let's see if I can't find them over here. Maybe they're over here somewhere. Let me see if I can't find a running around maniac. No. Did they run away so far? Oh yeah, they did. There they are. There's the bride. There she is. Okay, yeah, so they're done. Right. So those are those monsters. And there's one other monster, and they decided to actually change his stuff up and actually put him over here. Now, some of the things they dropped got changed over time. Most of them dropped like weird candy stuff, but then they changed it to other stuff like masks and whatnot due to another Halloween update. And then this guy actually got updated for the recent July update last year and got added to the medieval type stuff, the Headless Horseman. And I don't know if the Headless Horseman was actually in the actual movie per se, but something to note, this thing here was actually from the Invasion of the Body Squeezers, so this is what this guy looks like. Kind of cool, because he kind of has a real life horse now, and his head is on fire, just like I would assume the Legends of Sleepy Hollow. Instead of a pumpkin, it just flames on my head, because why not? And with that, I think that's about it for him. I think that's it. as far as the haunted Halloween items go, there's not much to talk about when it comes to that. But let's go ahead and see. I'm going to double check real quick just to make sure. I'm going to have you look at this guy while I kind of double check here. Just to make sure I'm not being dumb and forgetting somebody. So let's just see here if I can find it. Yeah. Pharmacy, Gummy, Bride, Madman. What is this? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So there is somebody I'm going to talk about real quick. That wasn't associated with the haunted Halloween, but got updated real quick in the end for some reason. So I might as well bring them up here. So let's have them be done. So there you go. And we won't have to talk about him again. Well, I'll mention him briefly, but not really. But another fan favorite character actually got added into the game after a while, and didn't really utilize her except for a 5-part quest. They didn't add a book to her, and this was during the month where they added a special book, so that's kind of weird. But the other interesting thing about this is that this was also the later on she got introduced again into another update because didn't utilize her, and that is Carly Beth's place and the infamous novelty shop with the haunted masks and the unloved ones. So let's summon these guys up, and I'll go with Carly Beth and have her get summoned here. And then I think after that, after that we'll be finishing off there, and then we'll continue off in part 8. Yeah, no, this is 7, so this will be 8. So yeah, so Carly Beth. What is there not to know about Carly Beth? She is one of the more famous monsters in the Goosebumps lore. In fact, the Haunted Mask is one of the most popular and well-beloved stories of a child who puts a mask over her head to be scary, and then it's possessed and she can't get it off because it's becoming part of her skin. There's a lot of mediums and references to the Haunted Mask. The whole look of her in the monster form here is roughly based on the look that they went for the actual show, especially with the pole and everything like that. But the in-game model, sorry about that, in the in-game model, I think is just something that they designed. It's weird because the head model is actually based off the one that you see in the show, whereas in the in-game, she looks nothing like her model. She's like a blonde hair chick. There she is right there. There she is, Carly Beth. She is actually best friends with Brooke, which I guess makes sense here because she's, it's kind of weird because they kind of didn't do the motherly love thing, but instead it's like Brooke is like, no, I love you as a friend. And then it's like, wow, you got me out of this. And then ended up having the mask and her work together, kind of like, okay, we'll have a mutual agreement. I think at the end, they actually, I don't know, I think she still hates the Haunted Mask, but I don't know. I think I could have sworn that they ended up working together again in the third one, but I might be mistaken. I digress. Carly Beth is one of the more interesting characters because she is one of the more occurring characters that comes back, and there is character growth with her. In the beginning of the book, she was chicken. She was scared. She didn't like anybody. She was sad. She was just, her mother made this nice chicken duck outfit, and she didn't like it, because people make fun of her. And then she decided to do the scariest thing, and then, ended up coming back to bite her. And after that, she wasn't chicken anymore. She was actually more of a actual non-scaredy cat character, and I really do like that. And in the second episode, she actually got to come out and wear the duck outfit that her mom made for her. And this is one of the weird. This is funny because at one point it's like, "Oh, do your dance, Carly Beth," and this is what she does. She does her dance and she does this. Which is funny. They actually animated that into in the thing, which I actually do enjoy. This was one of my favorites. When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh my god, this is the best." This was one of the most touching books, and I certainly do love this type of thing. But I digress. What time is it? You know what? Nah, I know I would end it here, but you know what? Let's finish off 2018's updates. There's only one more left. Now, I've already talked about this, but Seder was introduced during the Christmas update, and there was an obvious book that would have been chosen, but no, they decided to do something else entirely. That, of course, I'm talking about the more and more and more and more tales to give you goosebumps. And it's an interesting choice to make, but they ended up changing it and turning it into one of the books from that, which is the Attack of the Christmas Presents. Now, there is a character associated with this, and that is Claus, aka Chris. Chris, with a K, is interesting because he isn't actually, like, he's supposed to be the Santa Claus in one of the books. I believe it was, I'm trying to think of what the name of it is now, but one of the beginning stories, Santa's Helpers, that's what it was. It's supposed to be like the Santa Claus from that, but they ended up doing it differently, where it's like not real Santa Claus, but it's like this weird Santa Claus. And so basically, this is actually like an OC character, kind of pretending to be the evil Santa Claus for this whole thing. But I digress. But let's briefly talk about him real quick. Chris Claus here. He is a character who wants to be in a band playing his bass. And, he wants to be popular, but he decided to be like, all right, well, I'll be Santa Claus because I want to feel good about myself because Santa Claus represents something, right? But then with the occasional, what he's being forced into and then getting fired and hating kids, he ends up becoming this whole this defiant where he's just like, turns old Joker and he's just like, society has ruined me. I'm gonna take over society. They want me to be the evil Santa Claus. I'll give them an evil Santa Claus. And then hence we get to this point here, which is, oh boy. But yeah, this is an interesting tale for him as well. Because I talked briefly about this character, and I'm going to talk more about him in the book that's going to be coming with, which is the Attack of the Christmas Presents. So be on the lookout for that and some of its stuff. But yeah, what you'll notice is special stuff I'm not going to talk much about because it done went more in depth. But anyways, let's just go ahead and summon these guys. These are the boys, these Christmas presents. For the longest time, this one was just always the green Goosebumps logo. I don't know why. But yeah, the Christmas presents are actually real evil Christmas presents that kind of go ahead and eat with their snake-like ribbon tongue. Whereas Santa Claus literally just takes the bag and throws the gift on top of them like a maniac. And it's interesting because he actually became the evil Santa Claus for this game because that's what we need, right? And yeah, he's an interesting character for the holidays, let's put it that way. And I'm kind of glad they actually did this because this is one of the more fun updates and creativity as they did with they actually made all the books and made it so that all the books actually had a thing going on with them as far as what was added and made it original by adding like 6 stories into the whole fray and making it into a thing. There were other special limited edition books from this Christmas update that got added later on in life, but they will be mentioned near the very end of this whole thing. But for now, yeah, we got Chris doing this type of stuff. And his Santa throne, which is funny because if you look carefully over here, his throne, of course, has the nice Goosebumps logo, and I really do like and dig how, not the gorilla, I really do like and dig how this was shaped here. It's really nice. I really do dig it. Like the whole Christmas, it looks like something you'll see with people taking take sit on Santa's lap and take pictures of him, which is like sets the mood. I really do like how they designed this here. But yeah, anyways, Santa has a bunch of stuff. This is what he looks like. He looks like a sad old Asian man. But let's make him a sad old Santa man. And oh yeah, he has the Jingle Bell Rock, which is hilarious watching him do that. But you'll see that in one of the other episodes. For now, we'll have him dress like Santa Claus and just do this, which is him just kind of ringing the bell, advertising some toys, and yeah, for all the marketing out there, and he's just gonna hate it, and that will be it. So that's it for all the 2018 updates, and when we move on, the next update is gonna be the new stuff that came in 2019. So oh boy, this is where the problems start coming in, but I'll be back later for part number 8. So until then, I've been Grim, and I hope you enjoyed what you've seen thus far. We're almost done. 32 more to go.